Teen Titans.
Yes, this is the title of today's episode, Teen Titans. Welcome back to Friends of the Past, episode 58. Taking us away will not be the Teen Titans. Awesome show, very awesome show, but will be Lewis's spirit.
Last time on Shadows of the Past, after I'd managed to gain somewhat control of myself making a deal, the fight continued to rage on against Master Yinzaron. May, Amaret, Estrid, we managed to make our way past that tree monster known as Better Place, with Lilith deciding to hold down Tasha. After all, we weren't exactly sure how trustworthy she was in her current state. Further in, Phoenix and Sora did what they could against Master Yinzaron, using all sorts of illusions to throw them off. That's when Phoenix noticed something a little bit peculiar. A crack within a ceiling further within the cave, and shooting a decisive shot into the roof, it caused a part of that ceiling to collapse, with another member of the Vanguard coming in to support us, Saoirse, their leader. After making it past the trees and all of us convening together, Master Yinzaron put up a decent fight, to say the least, but it wasn't exactly as difficult as we'd imagined it would be. After tending to our wounds the best we could, I explained the deal I made with everybody. That in exchange for a bit more control over myself and some extra support from the crown, my soul was forfeit. But that would be the least of our concerns at the moment, and all we need to do was just get back to the city. And so, we made our way out through the hole that Saoirse had come in. But fate had different plans, or should I say Zavi had different plans. Going through the hole instead of toward the surface of the cave like we would expect it. We ended up in a desert-filled plain, somewhere within Dundalia, something that should have been impossible. It was then that we were met with the true version of Master Yinzaron, who'd been possessed by Zavi, a massive form of his old self with the same creation powers that his brush held. It was a fight that we never would have been able to expect. He was able to send our own might back at us, teleported us between all sorts of locations within the world, and just using sheer brute force, managed to push us to within inches of our lives. But with our combined strength, we were able to push the Avatar into a corner. As Sora unleashed her flurry of Simian-empowered strikes, he lunged out and grabbed her neck, crushed it within just an inch of her life, and quite literally, I think that if she were able to bear any more, that she actually would have died. But that was all he could do, bring her within an inch, as the Avatar was defeated. We tended to our wounds and found ourselves back at the cave again before we had realized. Estrid emitted a pulse of her paladin senses and revealed the room to be what it really was. A place filled with apples that acted as vessels for Zabi's influence. And realizing that threat was most likely gone, everybody hurried me to try to get onto the rock above all that had decided to check in on us after the fight. Try to get me to the city as soon as possible. Maybe have Sakura see if she could do anything to undo the deal. Well, Estrid and Phoenix decided to stay at the cave, and Amaret, Sora, and who was the last person that was with Sora again? Forgetting.
No important, my brother.
Amaret, my bad.
No, I
There's
think
a lot of
Logan would
people,
too.
okay? Uh, as fuck, I forgot all the names. As, as we all managed to make our way towards the city of tears.
The viewers should know. They should have seen the episode last week. Yeah.
No, right? Don't mind me. Too many people, man. I started to feel the flame starting to burn out. Only an hour into the fight. It seems like I was starting to run out of that flame. And so, the rock lowered us down so I could meet with everybody. I gave what last words I could. Maybe a few favors. Some way that they could at least feel maybe a bit of, I don't know, just something that they could at least accomplish while I was gone and feel like they had done something for me. And so, as I pass on, and what remnants of me are still around the sea, they made their way to the City of Roots. All I could do was hope the best for them.
Thank you. Lewis, you can take max inspo, put yourself 3.
Got it.
Noise. All right, friends, we begin tonight's tale. Our time ending in the city of our roots. Mother Nature has already been informed. Angelica has already prepared and ended any other consequences of Zabi's presence in the immediate area. All of you had a day to cope with this, as preparations were made to send you back to a city of tears so that we can give our hero a proper funeral. And we're picking up on that edge, us getting ready to leave. There's a few last things we have to cover before we leave Modana's Den and Glamhaven. One of those things is Phoenix saying goodbye to her father, which is where you just entered into, the dark dome where he's down there secluded in amber, suspended. And you don't know if next time you come here he's gonna be alive, but you do know you gotta go to City of Tears because your friend just died.
And in true Phoenix fashion, she tries her best to keep that all buried down deep. She's going to walk into the room with her bag over her shoulder, and she'll just come in normally. I mean, not too loud to startle him if he's sleeping, but definitely not quiet either. So she comes in and she's, "Hey Pops, how you hanging?"
Suspended, but good.
Yeah, I thought you'd get the pun. Hey, she comes close. She takes something out of her bag but tosses the bag to the side. I don't know how informed they keep you down here, but looks like we're gonna be shipped out back to the City of Tears. So, I wanted to pick your mind. Do you mind?
No.
I got this idea. See, my bolts, I've gotten them real good with the disappearing and reappearing, but there's got to be something more. There's got to be something else I can do with it. I was thinking, some more arcane energy, maybe a little extra Shazam. But also, what if we can make it be helpful? And she's got her level 9 arcane jolt um, technique working in her brain right now. But as they discuss, I'm sure he gives her his ideas and whatnot. there's probably jokes going back and forth between the two of them. She's going to laugh, but then there's going to be like a silence that just comes over the whole face. How'd you ever get okay with all the loss?
He thinks deeply about Lewis because, as we discovered, Clemdo and Lewis had a prior relationship together. They knew each other quite well. And in knowing that that's at the forefront of your thoughts, he just says, never really gets old. For those that did, well, they're not on our side anymore. That's what makes us different. When the pain hits, we absorb it, take it. It hurts. It hurts so bad. We don't lose ourselves. We don't become what we're trying to protect. We don't become the very thing that destroyed them. Just always think of that. We won't let this change you. And if you do, it'll be for the better.
Yeah, better ideas. Gotta be better supportive.
Also, stay really, really, really busy, which I'm sure you won't have a problem with.
Nah, thankfully that forge of yours fits good on the airship. I'll be tinkering. That's what we do. But also, and then she rolls out this blueprint. It's kind of a drawing of his workshop, but she's added something to it, her own room. Just was wondering, you'd be all right if I do this? And she holds it up to him. You know, like when the world's saved and all.
Yeah, just don't look under my bed, please.
Really? Really? You and Dondo would get along great.
He didn't say anything, but he knows he's not in a position to stop you being an Amber, so he had no choice but to warn you.
You got a maid that can go in there and clean the place up?
Yeah, near the bots. But usually it's Cornelia Cooper who does it.
Is she safe? Like, is she gonna stab me in the middle of the night?
I mean, one time I woke up and she was over me with a knife, but she said it was a joke.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I might clean house some more than one way. Anyway, I wanted to say goodbye. No, I wanted to say see you later.
And he chuckles because he was gonna say see you later instead. But he goes, all right, well, you know where to find me. I'll be hanging out here.
Sounds good. I'll send word. She picks her bag back up, walks towards the door, turns around, and slowly does her 2-finger salute. See you around, old man.
He just gives you a chuckle, and you know he's really tired. The moment door closes, he falls asleep. He gave you every ounce of energy he could to stay awake and talk to you.
She kind of stands there for a moment, braces herself, wipes any tears or sucks them back in, like the guy from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, sucks that tear back into the eye and will go on her way.
Excellent. I'll put us on the roots overview. Got to do that. So you all are getting picked up, and you're packing up. You can give me kind of what you're going through in your room as you pack up the last of your stuff to go home. You know, the airship is beginning to land. You can only imagine how Minerva feels alongside your own feelings, because they were romantically inclined and stuff. But they'll be here soon. But in the meantime, I want to give you an opportunity to kind of walk me through the motions of your morning. Any volunteers to start this?
Following that night and into this morning, the scene pans into Sora's room where usually she's always been a haphazard kind of individual, not particularly minding a bit of organized chaos, but everything is very tidy, put away, and clean. And Sora is putting these finishing touches into these pieces of parchment, where she's folding them together and gently putting them into her pack, zipping Aethon's little egg bag closed, when she takes a step away, looking at it all. She's very quiet, but her face doesn't show the sadness from the day before. It's more so like blank, like a canvas. And she turns her eyes to the artistic armament that leans against the wall. I suppose it's time. As she grabs everything up, slinging Aethon's bag over her shoulder, and then grabbing the armament and just holding it against her shoulder. Ready to go, Dando?
Nando looks at you. He's holding a photographia of Tasha. Yeah. And you realize that this thing you're feeling, Daniel's had to feel 2-3 times over, and so did Tasha. And can you imagine how that must have felt for them? He looks at you and he's got this photography of Tasha, and he goes, I don't, sister, I don't want to make this about me, but
You don't want to abandon Tasha.
yeah, she's gonna be held in trial soon. And yeah, I know we lost someone, but so have I, and so has she, and I'm all she's got left. It's just me, no one else. Everyone else from our party's dead.
A smile spreads across her features finally, as she will walk up to him and give him a hug. You can stay.
He hugs you back. I don't want to leave you. Not again. I love you so much, Sora.
And I love you too, my brother. But we are never far apart, even when we are not physically close.
Is this gonna be the end for all of us? This fight until we die?
Potentially, there is one way for our lives to end. Or, despite all odds, we overcome everything thrown at us, and we make a new journey, make a new beginning.
Like Mother Nature. She survived the war. Now she watches over places like this one.
Even if we don't get to see that day, let us live our lives in the moment, despite everything. Let us continue to laugh, to have fun.
So, since Master Yinzaron wasn't my dad, who's gonna teach us to be adults?
That is a lesson that you can decide for yourself. Find someone that you respect, someone you look up to.
All right. And then he looks back at the photographia of Tasha. All right, sister. Yeah. Next time I see you, you better be stronger than me.
No, that will be no question. I love you, brother. Keep her safe, okay?
Gives you one more hug, and then he walks out, and he goes, you know, forget it. Take care of yourself.
I can't wait to hear about it later. Goodbye, brother.
You see him walk away, and he descends these stairs to the prison route where Tasha's being held.
She takes one more look at her room, and her smile fades back to that blank expression before her mind hears Lewis's echoing words of her to keep to her kindness, keep her light. And she closes her eyes as a single tear rolls down, but she is not quick, but she reaches her palm up to brush it away, and the smile returns to her face. It's time to respect someone I love. Let's go. As she turns and, with a bright smile on her features, she will head to the airship.
Excellent. Emmerich, how about you?
He's not doing much. He's in his room. His stuff is packed up. He has like his little pack, like on the table, all his like equipment, all his beakers and whatnot. It's all packed up. He's just sitting at the desk essentially, with like his head on the table, like his forehead on it, on the like the edge, and his eyes are just staring at the floor. As he just isn't even like really looking down, but he's like replaying the events, wondering if he could like change things. It just has it replaying over and over. Not essentially, it's a feeling of like there's so much emotion that you don't really feel one thing, you feel it all, so you don't process any of it, so you're numb kind of. And he just sits there just thinking back on everything, knowing that it wouldn't have mattered, and even if it did, he can't go back, so why is he doing it? But he does it anyway, just filled with the silence of loss, knowing that it won't be filled by a specific person again.
Okay. And what do you think should happen with? Oh, so there's two coins, right? There's Lewis and then there's Tasha. What do you think should happen with Tasha? You know that she's being held for her trial. You hope they set her free? You think she should stay in there?
He's unsure. He doesn't hold hate for her or anything. I don't think he really holds anything against her per se. It's almost like forgiveness, because in his head it doesn't make the person right, it just makes you free. And he's just trying to, it wouldn't solve anything to be angry at her or really at anyone. It's just loss, that's all it is. He wouldn't know what to do if they asked him. If it was up to him, he wouldn't have an answer, essentially.
Okay, and that's fair. Not an easy answer. Phoenix, I know you just helped your father, but now that you're packing up, getting ready to leave, any final preparations, moments before you leave, or are you settled?
She'll just make sure to leave the room clean. She knows those in charge here don't tend to like automatons and technology and whatnot, and out of respect, she's going to make sure the room is clean of everything, no washer left behind.
Jenkins walks up to you and gives you a paper with a heart scribbled on it. He doesn't have a drawing function yet, but you can tell he just wants you to feel better.
Thanks, buddy. We'll do the best we can going forward. I'm just glad this isn't a picture of Amrit's wanted ad. Thanks.
Yeah, but he turns it around and it is.
We talked about this.
Sorry. And So above the canopy, we have the ship about to touch down. But further than that, a few paces down, we have a large tree, secluded from the other trees. And as kind of the camera kind of pans into one of the little squirrel crawling holes in the tree, it's an entire room. It's Lilith's room. Lilith, what are you doing at this very moment? Prior to someone's about to knock on your door in about a minute or two. So just what are you doing before that?
So leading up to, you would see Lilith sitting on her bed, and sitting across from her is her Heartwood Revenant, and she's speaking to it as she would another person, even though it has no ability to speak back to her. I don't know. I still had these emotions in me. But seeing Sora with Lewis in his final moments, it reminded me of what I felt when I dug you out. I did anything to find you. And seeing that loss just made me experience it all over again. I miss your voice and your tender touch. And she just kind of caresses the cheek of the Revenant. I miss you, Aiden.
Just kind of nods to you and begins to walk towards the door as though it knows something before you do. And knock happens, and it turns to you to get its command as it smiles softly.
And she kind of shapes herself up and looks towards the door, and whoever may come.
And the Heartwood opens the door, and Mother Nature looks upon you. Hello, Lilith.
My lady.
May I come in?
Of course. What do you need?
You spent time with the party helping deal with Zabimaru. This group, at first I wasn't sure about them. And me and you both know the crimes and pain one of them caused our people, your people. But I ask something more of you now, so that you can reach that freedom that I feel in my heart now, that trust, that hope, that you continue your journey with them for a time, aid them, see them succeed in their spiritual presence, and to help shape them into the heroes they already are and will further become. But if you decline, I will respect your decision. I know you have sworn servitude to me. Understand this is your choice. What will you do, Lilith?
You asked me to travel with the one that done this.
I do.
I don't know.
The airship touches down in an hour. Perhaps you will board it, or perhaps I'll see you in today's class. You still have not learned how to purify because the stone warrior failed to do anything besides teach you how to destroy with spirit powers. God, I miss that man. In any case, it is your choice what you do going forward, Lilith. With this darkness you hold in your heart, only one person can reveal whether you should continue to hold on to it or quell it.
I'll think on your words, my lady. I'll have your answer in a day.
He smiles. A wyvern was ready to take you there if you missed the flight. Other than that, take care of yourself, Lilith, and your heart will revenant.
Yes, my lady.
He turns and jumps off to the side, and the wyvern catches her. And she flies off. And before we leave you, as the revenant closes the door to make sure you have your privacy and looks at you, you continue your conversation, like how you feel about this decision. Should you go with them or not? Or we could fade here if you're happy.
She kind of looks out after Sakura, and she continues to ponder. And as her gaze falls back over the Revenant, she just softly mumbles, "What would you do, Aiden?" And the scene just kind of fades out from there.
Okay. The airship touches down. You can see Gearhart is already kind of waiting at the platform. Holly Quicker's not there, neither is Pogo. It's just Gearhart and a very distraught young lady, Minerva. You can see she doesn't look like her usual self. Her outfit's like torn up, her shirt's not tucked in or nothing. Her hair is everywhere, her goggles are missing. And then her makeup is just kind of smeared. And she's correcting it as the ship lands. And as she's correcting it, it's continuing to get ruined. As each of you gather at that platform, you kind of see Minerva. She smiles at you all. Ready?
Phoenix will float up to Minerva and just hug her tight, even though they're not as close as like Phoenix and Sora is. Phoenix has always felt a connection with Minerva given their mutual interest. And when the hug tends to lighten up, she'll come back a little bit, put her hands on her shoulders. You want me to fly the thing?
I think that'd be for the best. And
Okay.
you could see someone bringing out casket because you guys have to take the body home for the funeral. And she sees it and she like puts both her hands over her mouth. And she looks at you and she kind of like you can tell she's screaming internally, about to scream out, but she just runs below deck, doesn't say anything to you guys, and goes into her room, where you then hear a massive scream.
Phoenix just takes a very deep breath and will go about making sure the ship's ready to go.
When the casket is drawn up, Sora was watching from a distance. She was about to walk up before she saw the casket, and her eyes befall it, and she looks to Amrut. Will you help me?
Yeah.
And she'll go to one side, and as you're adjusting, I'm gonna roll an athletics real quick here, just in general.
Oh, well, we didn't have to roll.
Well, just to see how well she's doing. since she's not a strength-based character. But it's the weight of the person inside is more than physical, it's emotional. And she does like feel her grip falter for a moment, but there's a Amru, you notice like this strange, subtle glow that emanates from her skin. You know, it's almost making this like golden outline. Her eyes narrow, and she mouths something. And she's going to use a key point for Indomitable Spirit. And she'll add 4 to that for an 18 as she finds her strength again and raises it up with you.
No, this is a dumb question. Are you ready?
Always. Let's bring our friend home.
All right.
And we'll help him bring the casket on ship.
Okay. You board it on vessel, and Gearhart grabs the backside and helps up a little bit. It's pretty heavy. It's the stone coffin. And Gearhart doesn't say anything because he knows when he says stuff, he tends to be like bad, even though it's not his intent. As you guys all get loaded up on the ship, it begins to take off. Do we see Lilith? Mindful, she could arrive later on back for Wyvern. As it lifts up, do we see her?
She will be there.
Gearhart looks to the group. Hold on, motherfucker. And looks back. Who's this? Sees Lilith walking up towards the ship to you guys.
A friend.
My lady has asked me to accompany you all. I will attend the ceremony, and I will see if that is a good fit for the both of us.
Did you see any of us give her any issue?
Sora looks to Amrut. Could be interesting.
She's with us. Do the fucking math. Let's go.
Go ahead and take her down, Gearhart. We need one more.
He looks to the side and he drops a rope bridge. Come on, motherfucker.
And she will grab the rope and load up.
Fixing his language module is on my to-do list.
Might want to move that to a priority if there's nothing else wrong with him.
Sora will stand where the rope will connect, and we'll wait for Lilith to come to the top before quietly extending a hand down with her bright smile.
Sora.
You cut out there, Shade. Sorry, what was that?
She said, "It's always a pleasure to see you, Sora."
I have that effect on people. Have you ever rode on an airship before?
No, I've rode Wyvern back on the back of giant owls and owlbears, but never a ship in the sky.
Admittedly, it is not as fun. It's not as bumpy.
Let's go honor your friend.
She nods quietly.
Gearhart gives Phoenix a signal. Full speed to City of Tears.
As she pulls back on the paddle. Hey, where's Polly, Gearhart?
Polly's already at the city with Pogo.
That's interesting. All right.
Maria has been setting up funeral rites for our friend, so that everything is in order when we arrive. Polly had to help.
Oh, she must have loved that.
She just kept saying, he'll prove why she's better, Phoenix.
Yeah, that's fine. After they get the ship like headed in a direction though that she can get away from the bow for a little bit, she does want to go talk to Minerva.
The ship takes off and launches into the sky, and it'll be a day's journey. We reach the city of tears. And during that journey, a few things, and then we'll jump to that scene. Once we clear Lambhaven, probably to Lilith's displeasure, but he'll show one of you guys first. Gerhard goes, if we get hungry along the trip, I've caught lunch. Creature flying around the city of the roots. He opens his chest cage, and you can just hear, I say, free me, heathen.
No, Gerhard, that is not food, that is a friend.
It's an owl, motherfucker.
Yes, it is indeed an owl, motherfucker.
It's a special owl. We're not eating that one.
He reluctantly opens up the cage, and Zing shoots across the room behind the other side of the ship. Ooh, my life flashed before my eyes. He kept heating up the box internally.
I appreciate your attempt at kindness, Gerhard.
Thank you.
Perhaps something better would be forest game, or
I am good at making mushroom soup.
yes, there are plenty of edible plant life that can suit your appetite rather than friendly animals.
And sometimes you pick the wrong ones, a very fun adventure.
And say we don't need that right now.
I don't know. My aunt always said there's nothing better for a sore spirit than comfort food. I'm sure there's something down in the gut of this thing. We'll go find something.
And when you do go to find something, that's when you kind of get the idea you talked about just a moment ago. Minerva's door just kind of smack right there, closed. Still can hear crying, even though a pillow is over her face.
She'll knock on the door. Minerva?
Yes. Sorry, I had something to attend to.
It's alright. Can I come in?
It's unlocked, I believe.
She opens it. And we'll find a chair or a bedside table or something to sit on close to Minerva. I don't know if people have told you, but I'm really sorry.
You lost just as much as me.
We both know that's not true. Lewis was totally not my type. He was your lover, not mine.
We were finally going to settle down and get married once the war was over.
So you know, he was the hero of heroes. He chose everybody else over himself. He took on a danger that I'm sure he knew was big, but I don't think he knew how big it was.
There's comfort in knowing he died the way I met him, true to his character, to himself. The man I fell in love with. Not the man that left the tangle behind. The Lewis I knew was always in there. God, why did it have to be him? He was the best of us.
Yeah, it seems to be a sucky part of life. The best of us are taken too soon. The rest of us are left to live out our horrible existence on this planet. But I know I can't give him back to you, but we can get you some alone time. At least so you can say goodbye without the eyes of everybody of the City of Tears on you. I think you should take that opportunity while we're here up in the sky.
I don't know if I have the strength to do that.
I just know. I mean, of course he's gone, but if it was me, I'd want to study his features one more time.
Right. You're right. Like gets up and she's like very distraught and she's like getting ready to do her makeup like she's about to like go on a date with him and she's getting dressed up. I'll have to look nice.
Please. He didn't love your attire. He loved your fiery spirit.
Hi. Now, Lewis gave me his best wishes, but you and your party mate should know. Lewis agreed that when he died, that's for the tradition of my people, that I will burn his body into ashes, place it in an urn, and it'll be stored in my house.
I'm sure once the ceremonial part of it all is done, that you can do that.
Why do I have to do that? Why do I have to do that?
Because you have exquisite taste. You fell in love with the best of the best.
And the two of you probably go back and forth a little bit before she works up the courage and she gives you a hug. You're wonderful, Phoenix. You know that?
It's the least I can do. I ruined a bunch of lives, but help a couple heal. And fix Gearhart's language thing. Alright, I'm gonna go find food.
No, she directs you to the left. There's a pantry with bread and bacon and stuff. That's where you guys kind of split. You go to the left, she goes to the right. She's got a strong stride, but you know that every step is heavier than the last.
Phoenix would have I don't know where his casket is, but if it's out in the open or whatever, she would shoo people away to give Minerva some alone time with it. Or if it's in a room, she'll stand guard by the door, make sure they're not interrupted.
Because of the air and stuff and the possibility of weather, it was stored in the storage unit. Most of the other stuff was moved out. So she would get in there, look at you one last time, and close the door and begin her talk. And in the meantime, is anyone else doing anything else on the airship? And to piggyback onto that, whenever we do get to you, Lilith, whether you're doing something or not, let me know how it feels your first time being on this metal rain tech, same metal rain tech that assaulted Icarus, same metal rain tech that Sakura hates, all that stuff. Like, how does it feel to be on this thing? It's not your first time flying, but it is your first time being on it, like you said. But other than that, for the rest of you, is there anything else that you want to address immediately?
Sora would eventually go into the ship too, but leaving Minerva and Phoenix alone for the most part. Where she is returning to this project she's been working on, where she takes all this parchment and she's taking bundles of twigs and anything that can form like kind of like a small structure, and she's just winding all these together and taking candles as she's just creating something, but it's unclear as to what. And she's just working on that as the ship flies.
Excellent. Anything else, Emma?
Do I want to know what that is, or should I just wait and find out?
A custom from where I come from. We couldn't bury the dead, at least those have passed, and we could not send them out to sea, for it could turn that person into something else.
Ah, the magic out there.
It made things very interesting. That we would have travelers sometimes come to the islands, and it's so second nature to them to light a candle with magic or try and show off. I'd still remember that silly sorcerer boy. Oh boy, was he in for a bad surprise. Got polymorphed into a sheep for a couple days.
Oh, that was worse than that. Okay. So what is this, like a...
Then he exploded.
Oh, fuck.
He lived though.
What? So, what is this supposed to be exactly? Like a mural, or...
I would have thought better of you, Amrit, to remember. I made you one when you died.
Well, I was dead, so probably not.
I'm trying to make as many lanterns as I can for people to share in what I aim to say.
Hmm. Think I
How
get
are
it.
you, how are you doing, Amrit?
I don't know. I mean, it hurts. And I can't do anything to alleviate it.
Maybe we can find you something fun to do.
Speaking of fun, you're talking, there is a creep. Someone's nearby.
Sora stands up, and in this moment, she looks around. But Amrut, as you're looking at Sora, her golden eyes become more intense. For she's not just looking into the normal plane that you're also sharing with her, but she's looking out with a deeper sense.
What does she see?
A blind sight of 20 feet.
No, I'm talking to the individual you spotted.
Oh.
Sensing the kind of like the air change, you would see Lilith move fully into the room.
No.
I'm sorry if I'm intruding. I can leave if you're two or having a private moment.
Not really private. Was it private, Amrut?
No. I don't know how this thing of yours works, really, so I guess not, no.
How can we help you, Lilith?
I guess I just didn't want to be alone right now.
Of course, you can sit next to me if you wish. Just finishing up my project.
Do you want us to help you with that, or... Does it make needs?
She looks to Lilith and Amrut. Of course, if you wish to. Very simple. Only need to fold a paper 4 times and make sure it forms a box.
What? How the fuck?
I haven't done this in so long. I can give it a try.
There's nothing wrong with attempting so. As she will make space for Amrut and Lilith at the table and pushes all this parchment and what twigs she could find. I haven't been able to purchase any wooden poles, so these had to do.
You know, I never. In my previous life, I never honored death. It was never an honorable thing to die. It either meant a job well done or the job failed.
Now you get to experience it in your own way, if you wish to.
I'll start with this then. So, do I fold it upward or how does this work?
She takes both of your hands for a moment and sets them on the paper. Well, follow after me. And she will guide you on how to make a very basic, just folding a paper enough times until it can make like a square on the table. Then poking holes or cutting out holes along the creased corners so you can then stick a rod or a twig in there to give it more structure and shape.
Yeah, he would have sucked at this.
It didn't help with the robot hand and all.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's perfect. Well done, Lilith. Well, you're working with tree. Of course, it's gonna be pretty easy.
I don't have control over everything nature-based, but it is a skill I used more in years past. But and you see her kind of gathering her thoughts.
You've had a lot of loss.
Yeah. You speak of respecting death. I experienced a fair amount, and after all that, I closed myself off from many attachments in the world and purely saw life and death as a ceaseless cycle, and lives are merely in limbo until they come to an end.
Yeah,
So
I mean, wait, are you not supposed to do that?
well, I didn't see the preciousness of each individual life until I saw the connection between Lewis and Sora. It reminded me. So, thank you, Sora.
I came into this world with already death hot on my heels. My parents gone before I even knew they existed. My entire clan, even before them, gone. I've lost mentor after mentor, but when you say I am trying to respect death, I do not believe that is how I would word it. I'm trying to respect a man who loved me and is the reason I walk forward when he cannot. So there is no need to thank me. Think the moments he was here. But thank you, Lilith. I knew there was a vibrancy to you. Your aura is very beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Or what?
Is why I was able to tell she was here. Denamru, your aura is pretty handsome, actually, but very...
Why are you hitting on everyone?
What do you mean? I'm just complimenting. It doesn't always have to lead to... No, I get it.
Oh, no, right there. That's a good line.
Oh, right. I should write this down somewhere. She looks at
Write
all the
that
parts.
shit down. Yeah.
No, not on this, though. Not on this. This is
No,
too
no.
special.
And Lila just kind of chuckles. Glad to treasure moments like these with you two.
We will. And we'll always, if you decide to stick around, Lilith, there'll be plenty of moments that you'll wish to forget. I'm sure.
Yep. Yep.
Well, I guess we'll see. And as she kind of completes her little project, she sets it on the table. This has been refreshing.
I got an awkward question for you.
Yes?
You're gonna be with us for a little while, I guess. I'm not sure. You gonna be all right with Phoenix?
And you just see her joyful expression kind of immediately sour.
I didn't want to lose that look, but I feel it's important.
I'm still coming to terms with something. And I don't know if I'm able to
Excuse me, motherfuckers.
No. Hello, Gerhard.
It's time for everyone to get below deck. We're gonna be landing soon. And I don't know what it's called, but Phoenix said the rumbling of the ship that send us all flying to our deaths. We put on what the artificers call seat belts. As he kind of bails you out of an awkward talk, Lilith. And the city of tears kind of breaches the clouds.
Seatbelts don't even sound that fun, but fine.
Yeah. I don't need to know, but maybe think on it. And he'll go back below.
But when Sora walks, she will stop next to Lilith and gently touch the back of her palm. One day, when you are ready, you should speak to my Phoenix one-on-one. That will help both of you more than you understand. What you are feeling is merited and wanted.
Yeah, I'll give it some more thought. I'm not ready to tackle this right now.
Nods, and she will go down the stairs.
I feel like an asshole, but that's okay.
It was totally needed.
I know.
As you all surely eventually retreat downstairs, the airship takes flight, and it's kind of like a soft montage of all of you doing your kind of own respective thing as Minerva enters the room. She walks in and she casts heat metal on the iron coffin. Then she immediately ends her concentration and kicks it. Why'd you have to go and die? And she sees you through this glass pane, this see-through portion. Oh, my Louis. We were about to begin our journey together. I'll cherish our memories. I'll hold on to in my heart forever. Even though this is where we are, I don't regret your choices. I'm happy. There's a question mark. That you were you in the end. The one I love, the spirit champion. Oh, what I'd do to you right now if you were here. Oh, she's working through every spectrum of emotion possible. Hate you right now, but I also want to make sweet, fiery love to you. Louis, just know that you're my hero. My heart aches as I'm here in front of you. Phoenix is right. This is the only time we have alone together. And then eventually it's gonna be goodbye. So I'm happy that we're having this conversation. I'm rambling, aren't I? Sorry for heating up your coffin. I was just a little sad. And she looks at you again and she kisses the pain, and she watches you as the ship lands. She turns around, seeing that Phoenix perfectly landed the ship. God, that girl's something else. I know it's not your team's fault. They're pretty amazing. And I miss you, Louis. Well, you'll be on my shelf. That's the kind of chuckles, trying to find a way to be happy, even if it's impossible. And she looks out the window, and at the City of Tears, walking up to the ship is Aria. But next to Aria, an old friend. Some of you may know her. She's reporting live.
Hello, everybody.
Well, but this is the music uploader account.
Players yelling, cake!
Hello, Judith Bloom.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah. I know the last thing you heard from me was a little different than current events. So sorry about that.
It's okay. It's not about that or not about me or anything else right now. This is time for Lewis.
Yeah.
And that is when Sora walks up to down to Judith, standing almost unreadable at first before she gives her some this paper. I was hoping you could proofread for me. Common isn't the first language I learned. It's a eulogy I prepared for Lewis.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
And when you take it, she then will abruptly hug you.
Yeah.
It's good to see you again.
It's really good to see all of you.
Aria will ask where the casket is and instruct whoever guards to go get it, or as many as is needed.
The soldiers, the animated armors, eager to prove that you don't need the old guard. All three of them hurry onto the ship to get the coffin. In addition to that, as you guys are talking next to this fountain, a massive splash hits the party. Because Judith brings someone home with her. Who might that be, Judith?
Have the young prince, and of course, his dragon guardian.
Okay, so question, is it the prince or the dragon that splashed?
Mellow!
Oh shit! Oh yeah, and and the dragon turtle Mellow.
Oh, I thought you would be obscure. You really messed that up, huh?
Oops. Oh, is he still a baby?
He's so big now.
He's bigger.
Yeah, I went back to the Fairlands for a bit, and I brought back an old friend.
Dora will charge up and just jump into the fountain and hold and hug him around the neck. Hello, old friend.
Kind of just like makes an awkward noise, but you could tell, you know, from the islands that that's usually when the turtles are really excited.
She will quickly reach into her pockets and withdraw the 250 gold she had split from when the mentor gave her 500 along with everyone else. As promised, every half I make goes to you, as she will put that gold into a shell.
You certainly had a lot of interesting companions, Sora.
Oh, this is Mello. We go way back. Saved him during our Lake Leonia fiasco.
I'd like to hear about that sometime.
Of course. Must not have been easy transporting this boy here, Judith. He is hefty.
I had a little bit of help. Hi. She looks over to the other individual. I haven't really seen the artwork except for a bit of the from the token, I guess. Yeah. I'll just kind of give a look, be like, "Wow, okay, hi, I'm Judith Bloom, Between the Flames," and kind of put her hand out for a shake.
I know of your work. I am Lilith.
Lilith.
Welcome
Well,
to the
pleasure.
City of Tears, Lilith. Everyone, there are rooms made up for you in the palace when you're ready. Or if you wish to have your 2 feet on solid ground, you may explore as you like.
Thank you for your warm welcome. I'm sure I can make do with any accommodations you provide.
And if anyone needs me, I shall be at the Yaku Manor.
Oh, yes. Oof. Did you make sure that place was clean for Lady Sora's arrival?
Of course I did. Oof appears out of nowhere, and he's wearing a strange uniform. That he has his name tag on his chest. He's got letters on his side, like he works for Between the Flames.
You know, that new uniform looks really good on you, Uth. Really pulling it off.
After Rhea and you got the between the flames booth going here, I figured I'd be getting play them on somehow. No?
You
Hey,
you
I
look
got work to do.
move.
So, hey. She tries to bark, but Oof tries to bark, but he can't. He looks at Aria and goes, right on it, and scurries off.
That was adorable.
We gotta keep him busy around here.
Stops him from getting up to hijinks, I know.
He is adorable, though.
Well, if anyone needs me, I shall make sure no one tried moving into my home while I was gone.
As the guards bring the casket out, Aria will follow behind it.
Seeing the casket, Judith kind of pauses and freezes for a moment, her eyes just following it. And then it continues to move with the rest.
As the casket kind of breaches you, Judith passes by you. You can see just through that little kind of glass pane, Lewis resting there peacefully. But even though you already knew, this kind of really sets it in. Like, this is real. How does that make you feel?
Let's see. She like her eyes start to well. She has lots of thoughts, lots of feelings, but knows that this isn't the time. And she kind of brings it back into herself and sniffs up and holds herself strong.
Okay. And as we get everyone's kind of take on what's going on, everyone emotions flowing and spilling and everyone coming together for our hero. We're gonna go ahead and take a 10-minute break and reflect on all that's been said so far. See you soon. We'll be right back.
Walk off back.
All right, welcome back to the compound. Our parties have just settled in the city of tears, or rather have arrived here as funeral preparations are coming to a close as the service is going to be held today. Leading up to that, however, we're going to see what the players are up to. One of the particular scenes is Sora returning to the house of Aku, is that correct? When you enter your home, you hear a chair turn and something is sitting on it and goes, well, well, well. What do we have here?
You have the homeowner. She has returned.
This is my house. Now, there's a talking goat, literally speaking to you in a common. My mind has been stimulated beyond mortal comprehension. I have been awakened.
I mean, I don't mind a roommate. You just, don't shit on the floor.
I was hoping you'd had Amber with you because me and him, it's on sight. But Judith Bloom has awakened me with magics of arcane arts higher than 9th level.
That was very nice of her.
I guess we can share this place. He only told me don't shit everywhere. So I just shit in one spot consistently until it reached the ceiling like a tower or a rope.
Well, that's going to be a problem for later. Anyway, you're free to move in. I am going to get ready for my friend's funeral.
All right. I forgot about that. I'll let bygones be bygones. But I want to make something clear if we're going to be roommates.
And what is that?
This booty ain't yours. I'm saving it for someone else.
I'm good. I may have no game, but my standards aren't that low.
I meant sniffing. There's been word about what happened.
Listen. There are dire times, and I made other people do that for me.
And he tells you that he begs to differ, but it's kind of hurting my throat to keep that up. So he walks off, all minion-like. For some reason he's wearing a thong, and he disappears into a different room.
I'm going to have to do a first and judge Judith's actions. But she waves that off, and she will go upstairs where she'll take out a copy of what she's wrote, and will begin kind of pacing back and forth as she's rehearsing it in her head, just making sure it's right.
Excellent. Leading up to the funeral, is there anything that you would like to tackle, players, or your alternative characters may bring into light? Floor is you guys. I'll be silent now.
I'll say Phoenix is just being there for Minerva, not straying too far away from her, just listening, but that's where she's at.
Judith is quickly kind of, moving around and assisting in getting the last things organized, making sure people have their, their seats. She's just doing what she does and making herself uber busy, so she doesn't have to, let the emotions rush through. She's like greeting, seeing people who have come from all over the land and greeting them and consoling how she can. But yes, please, this way, yes. Thanks for coming.
Excellent. Is anyone with you, or is anyone about to be with you?
I will also be there. For ulterior,
Ulterior.
I'm sorry, guys, I swear. Yeah. For other motives. How about that?
Ulterior motive. Okay, I was wondering what you said.
Yeah. I literally didn't get there, but yes.
With average there, I'm sorry, with Amrit there, it's she's not, the most warm. Trying not to show emotions, but there is like every now and then you guys make eye contact, and there's like a smile hidden behind sadness in her eyes.
He'll just like nod without really smiling himself either and looking back forward. He doesn't really welcome anyone either. So he's just sitting there like almost looking like a bouncer as people like walk through. You're just like, yeah, welcome, welcome. And he's just sitting there with like his arms crossed, looking like Piccolo or some shit. He's looking for some specific people that are coming through. People that knew Lewis, because he doesn't want them to fuck up the funeral due to previous potential transgressions. And he's talking about like members of the Tangle.
Which all 4 of them are here.
Fuck all 4. Okay.
But only one walks up to you eventually. She looks at you, and you've seen her before. The last time when you first met her, was another funeral. She kind of eyes you for a moment. Amrit?
Hey.
Just when I was beginning to like you, we meet again under unfortunate circumstances.
I mean, you still can. But kind of depends on what you're here for, you know? See, I was sitting out here waiting for all of you.
Our team will never say it to your face, because they respect Lewis even in his final hour. But if he was stronger, I don't believe he would have died.
Am I right next to them?
Close
Yeah,
enough.
you're right here, yeah.
Close enough there. Yeah.
I'll say that's enough of that. Let's just keep things focusing on the Lewis's gifts, not how he demised, okay?
Well, just real quick interjecting, since Judith and Aria have been spending time together planning this, preparing this, Judith knows that the Tangled were expressly invited by her.
You must be Zereth, is that right? I don't think we...
Yes.
Well, fantastic. I believe we have your assigned seats just over there, on the other side of the aisle, closer in the front, on the left. Okay.
Oh, VIP. Nice.
He looks at you all. We'll talk more later, Amrit.
Just behave. That's all I care about. We can talk later.
And you see her like call her the silver shards of her weapon, kind of flying from hidden places in the room back into her pockets. She walks off. And you've spent time with her 1v1. You've trained with her together. You know she's very, very rough and tough lovey. But yeah, she certainly, unlike the rest, isn't gonna sugarcoat stuff how she feels. But she walks off because she doesn't want to make a scene here. Because it is Lewis's day.
Well, that was kind of spicy.
Yep. You know, I didn't think I would be in a worse mood, but as I've learned in this life, rock bottom has a fucking basement, so I'm gonna go fuck off somewhere. I'll be back.
Oh, okay.
And I'll just storm off.
Oh yes, thank you for coming. The next person in line.
And when people kind of like nod, shake your hand, give you like the little tiny gifts and stuff that ultimately go towards paying for the funeral and things like that. Even though Lewis is pretty set. Oof looks at you, Judith, and goes, bad time?
Who is this?
Oof.
Oh no, I bend down and say, "What do you got?"
I was delivering letters and I noticed that, remember how we agreed that, you know, you were kind of the co-owner of the Post and then Aria because she's the face of the City of Tears?
Yeah.
Well, I noticed that your name was crossed off the billboard and replaced. I think you know who put their name there.
Oh, okay. That's low priority right now, but thank you very much.
I'm just saying, once a day I can turn to my big form and I'll beat that ass. Say the word.
Not today. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, this smug expression. She just kept saying, "Ooh." All right, I won't make a scene. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go sit on Aria's lap. She's such a soft lap.
Good move.
It just runs off. It seems like the rest of you are doing your things, nothing in particular. Before I'll bring you to the funeral map. Is everyone ready, prepared, and set for the funeral? Or is there something you'd like to do before we get into that scene and stuff?
I am all set on my part.
I don't need a scene. I just need 10 like in game real minutes to like come back later.
Okay. Awesome.
Are we all able to say something, or?
So one person's gonna read the eulogy, but you'll all be, if you want to, you could, most people can share their piece before the eulogy. The eulogy is gonna be the final thing before the closing statements.
Yeah, it's just something I'd like to say before, if that's okay.
Absolutely. And because you've orchestrated most of this with Aria, who has the resources of the City of Tyr, because Lewis is gone, and now that he's really gone, has all the resources, this would all be pre-planned. So they'll call out for people that would like to say stuff. I'll just touch on each of your names one last time, even if you said you were done. Just want to make sure before we get into the funeral itself. In order. Lilith. Good?
Good.
Phoenix?
Phoenix is good. For the scene, Aria has the young prince by her side, dressed nicely for the occasion, and is kind of instructing people on what to do, but is also taking the moment to instruct the prince for if he had to do formal gatherings or whatever in the future. She is very much like mom is too soft. It's more like a matronly type stance right now. But she's also trying to keep an ear out for the people that have returned on the airship. She knows a couple of things that have happened, but she's really concerned about them, having spent time with them. So just putting that out there.
Okay. Going down the line, Amrit, you still stormed off with Mr. Min, so we can move on.
Yep.
It's bad. It's moving just past Louis Judith.
No.
Sora,
I am here.
I am here. Excellent. You all pulled into the cities of Tears throne room, where everyone from every walks of life were invited into these halls. Music is being played by Blue Notes, Mr. Gold. Night's Vigil is what he calls it. Or vigil, sorry, that's what he calls it. In this room, you'll see many familiar faces, combined with many new faces, as we've all gathered. In front of the stairs In front of the resting place, the bed of flowers that Lewis is on, is the physician who is kind of acting as a pastor or priest that is going to direct the funeral affairs. People are kind of looking around. Everyone took a moment to kind of say their highs to each other, getting ready for the heavy scene. On Phoenix's shoulder, Syndra's giving her a massage. It's all right, dearie. It's all right. As the body is being placed on the bed of flowers. Not night chapter. Oh God, not night chapter. The Vanguard squad is holding security, but also here to pay their respects. In the back, the 4 members of the Tangled. This is the first time the Tangled has been brought together. There was them 4, Minerva, and Lewis, a part of that team. Some new faces. Marshall Mal here for similar reasons as the Vanguard. Nightheart and her students, as well as you get one of you guys' biggest fans. Nimbus is wearing like a superhero outfit and standing salute the whole time. A smug, gentle goblin worker between the flames constantly stares at Judith, who's kind of in the forefront of this all, wondering why it's not him. These Sky Knights are permanently stationed here, as some have been gifted to the city on Lewis's behalf. A dog is barking, Noble, a pet that was in Lewis's home from his parents after Lewis left. And one of the things you were told, Aria, was that Noble needs a new home, and this is kind of what Lewis was given by his parents, as well as a small fortune, by this Lady Loft, who is the maid of Lewis's old mansion. As the doors open, Mello, being too large to be inside, just kind of looms over the banister watching in as the goats have all assembled. Polly is quiet for once, looking really sad, and Pogo is bouncing around. Several people have attempted to sit on Master Pila. It's cool, it's cool. But the ceremony does begin. And as it begins, you can see the physician walk to the front. Ladies and gentlemen, we gather here today to honor the memory of a dear friend, a fallen warrior whose valiant strength will forever be etched in our hearts. And Penethil, having his reservations about Lewis and understanding what caused this funeral and why he's there, he just kind of like holds on to Aria like that's his mother or something, even though him and Judith, he's got 2 moms, everybody, right? He holds on to Aria. So he was a good man.
Yes, my dear.
And as we stand on this hallowed ground, let us remember the indomitable spirit of our departed comrade, who faced life's battle with unwavering courage and grace. In our grief, let us find solace in the knowledge that their legacy lives on in the stories we share and the love we continue to hold for them. Today we pay our final respects to a warrior who has found that peace that we all search for. We pledge they will be remembered forever and forever with honor and reverence, today and tomorrow, and yesterday, before, and long after. Thank you for traveling to the City of Tears. Thank you for sharing this moment with us. And before we get to the burial requested by Minerva's family and approved by Lewis, I would like to give a moment to the crowd. If you have something you'd like to say, please step forward, say your piece, and return to your seats.
Judith will begin to step forward. Glancing down at Lewis, she almost gets stage fright in a way, if that something that she didn't think would be possible in this kind of setting. But she breathes, thinks of Lewis, and speaks. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, I know we're all here to remember and celebrate the life of this remarkable man, Lewis Noel. Lewis was more than a friend. He was a mentor, a steady hand, and someone we could always count on. Lewis had a unique sense of humor, dry and not always laugh out loud funny, but somehow endearing in its own way. He could deliver a joke with a straight face that left us wondering if he was serious or jesting, but we all know that was just part of his charm. When you picture Lewis, you might see an older gentleman with well-earned wrinkles of a life fully lived. But he had a youthful spirit that was infectious, and he reminded us that age was just a number. Lewis had the distinction of being hailed as a hero not once but twice in his life, showing us that heroism comes in many forms. But what truly defined Lewis was his enormous heart. He had a heart big enough to encompass the world, and he was always there when we needed him, offering wisdom, patience, and unwavering support. He never sought the spotlight. Instead, he was content to be the quiet strength in all of our lives. As I stand here today, and she starts to fight back the tears that are coming. As I stand here today, I'm here because Lewis wasn't just a friend. He was family. His absence leaves a void that can't be filled, but his memory remains a source of inspiration. Lewis, my dear friend and mentor, I imagine you're watching over us with a twinkle in your eye and a half smile on your lips. I miss you deeply, and I'm grateful for the lessons you taught me about friendship, the value of laughter, and the enduring power of a kind heart. Rest in peace, Lewis. And thank you for being the remarkable friend and the mentor that you were. Your legacy of love and guidance will continue to light our way, and your memory will live on in our hearts forever. Farewell, my dear friend, until we meet again. And then she'll just turn around.
Thank you. Your kind words, Judith. Physician looks at the room. Anyone else have a piece they would like to share while the eulogy is read? Minerva makes her way up. All my life, I wondered who I was, where I'd go, who I should be with, what I should do, if I would become someone important, or if I would just live through the motions until my candle was out. And every day I felt like that flame getting smaller. And it almost died. And then there he was. Luis. Standing there. Far younger, I'll add, though he did turn into quite the fox. And he looked after all of us. She gives a hard look to the back of the room. He protected us. He sacrificed the most. And even now, in his final moments, he gave so he could give no more. I love this man. And I know everyone here loves him too. In some capacity, in some way, somehow. Even if you didn't know him, you felt safe around him, comfortable around him. You knew that as long as he was here, everything was going to be all right. You knew that while Luis was around, you would not be harmed. He wouldn't allow it. No matter how impossible the odds, no matter how great the threat, he would not allow it. And that man, right there, on that beautiful bed of flowers, that's my hero. And that's my husband. And I love you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your kind words. Whenever. We've got time for 2 or 3 more if anyone would like to say something on behalf of our fallen friend.
Amrit will go up.
Come on up. Don't be shy, sir. Come on up.
The last mentor, father figure we had that passed, I wasn't even man enough to show up at the funeral, so here I am. I guess gotta watch my own footing now, huh, Luis? It would be so much easier to numb myself, live in ignorance, and just drown in self-contempt about this. But I know he wouldn't let me if I tried, so I'll just live in the pain, live in truth, keep moving forward. Get better, do better. It's not fair. He wanted to sort his shit out so much and did so with us head on. And yet he looked at that crown and let all that shit back in. Worse shit even, to save others. I don't see a better person in this room, in a mirror. No man better than this right here. I'll always remember you, Noel. Yeah. That's all I had to say, I think.
Thank you. Your words are brave and strong and have reached his soul in the beyond. Lady Pendragon walks up. As you know, Rune Warriors are tasked with protecting the world. And many of those years, our greatest enemy, Mouthers before Metal Rain, and still are after it. There was one Mouther in particular that changed our memories. Lewis was so powerful, so impactful, that I always felt a strong connection to him. And I found out, as that Malthor was vanquished, that Lewis was a distant relative of the Pendragons, a Pendragon himself, my direct family. And it just shows the cost of what we do for each other, for the world, what he has done. To not even know your own people because of the fight that must be fought. But even beyond evil, as suffocating as evil could be, even beyond the cruelty of the world, Lewis reached me. And only recently I finally knew why. And I'm sure he has reached all of you. She looks down at the flower bed. He will be in our hearts and in our memories. Nephew. Are there any others? Or shall we continue? Going once. He gives you guys some time, and then he says, and please, before we get to closing statements, Sora of the Aku, you have an important task this day. Are you prepared to pursue it?
For the people I love, but of course.
Come on up.
She will look to Amrut and place a hand on the back of his hand and squeeze with a smile where she stands up, holding one of the lanterns she made, and walks to the front. She looks down at Lewis and then to all of these eyes with varying degrees of sadness and emotions all on her. It's a strange feeling because in a strange way she's always felt like people have had all their eyes on her. But this time they're all sharing this emotion with her. And she falters for just a moment in trying to form words. But then she closes her eyes and remembers those final moments with Lewis, where a smile creases her face and that golden glow returns, but along with it, something materializes around her shoulders as her mantle of courtesy forms as this golden scarf that gives her this golden glow to her skin, and her words will reach out to everyone. The man's way of funerals is vastly different from my own. So forgive the silly island girl if she doesn't convey the right tone. But I will say what I'm about to say with nothing but love for someone who loved me. I grew up with unconventional families. I learned to be kind from my master. I learned how to fight from the native monkeys on the island. And when I met Lewis, I learned so much more. I don't like the phrase, he leaves behind. He is remembered by Minerva. The love the two of them shared was pure and beautiful. Minerva, you were the brightest flame in his life. As she looks to her and nods and smiles. The very first moment I saw him, I knew I met someone special. A man who carried a story that existed long before I was even real. A man who fought wars for others to live in peace. A man who would suffer through countless hardships if it meant the ones he loved could see a peaceful tomorrow. He held his burdens closer than comforts for a long time. And for a time, me and my family helped him break these chains, allowed him to have time to be free, time to be surrounded by people that cared for him dearly, where he gave me lessons I'll never forget. Lewis taught me many wonderful and powerful things, things that I'll take with me forever. In that way, it keeps him alive and close to my heart. And I will take 4 virtues he gave me and tell him myself what I loved him for. Compassion, initially mistaken as begrudging patience for all my pokes, jabs, and pranks, but I came to see as him seeing how I expressed my love, and how he always gave me his kindness, even when I felt I was not deserving of it. His final request of me, to never lose that kindness I expressed to all, which I will honor until it comes the day I join him. Determination. Many times I witnessed a scene so dark, so terrible and devoid of hope and happiness. And every one of those times it was Lewis who stood at the front, shielding me and my family from it all. The devil, his first sins, and even the darkness inside of me. Unyielding, unfearing, a beacon of light in the darkest of times. Strength. Something I used to see as physical might. The ever-perpetual road of seeking power to fulfill one's selfish desires. But strength is not measured so blandly. Lewis was one of the strongest men I knew, enduring pain, enduring loss, enduring betrayal, the countless strife. But he never gave his path to anyone to take over. Never let anyone break his faith. His final lesson, as she looks down at the lantern where everyone would notice she has drawn the symbols, words, being, strength, determination, compassion, in her languages, whether Draconic or Aquan. But she does not reveal the last one as she holds the lantern closer to her. His final lesson is for me. I do not mean to express rudeness in not telling you all what it is, but it's only something I wish to share with the man I view as my father. Those that know me know I say Nanali when I meet someone, and Ildanan when I am leaving. These have more meanings on the Turtle Islands. It's allowed to assume it's our way of saying hello and goodbye, but it's a cyclical phrase. For when we say hello, we know one day we must say goodbye. And when we say goodbye, we know that one day we will say hello again. For the winds of the world will guide us all back together eventually. And she will begin walking, carrying the lantern, as she'll look down at Lewis. Nanali, Lewis, and Ihalanan, my dearly beloved. Take my love with you, and may the winds guide us together again someday. Where she will continue walking past the rows and past the people watching her, carrying this lantern as she lights a small candle affixed to the bottom and reaches Mellow, smiling as she lifts this up, and this lantern floats out through the doorway above Mellow and out to the sky, where everyone can see on tables around the doorway are lanterns, blank, but for anyone to use, and to also tell Lewis what you are taking with you. And she will stand there next to Nightheart, looking out to the sky, folding her hands and watching as the lantern will be carried by the wind.
Thank you. Your maximum inspiration. The physician sees the lantern rise up, and she gives Minerva the signal, and Minerva begins to cry as she puts both her hands together and casts burning hands over the bed of flowers and on to Lewis. And the physician says, as the flame rises, and as the heat grows and consumes, Lewis returns to the room, his soul a part of the thing we call our universe, our world of Elder Earth. And she is forever reminding us of the presence and love, and to release his warmth into the world once more. Feel his flame, feel his courage as it burns bright. Remember this day, remember him, remember our hero. As sure as that flame right there will expire, his soul will never. Remember Lewis knew well. Remember. In the fire, as Lewis' body suspends in the air, Physician just yells, rise! As everyone stands up. Raise with him! And the Tangled extend their hands out, and each of them shoot out these iron barbs that form a vase, and ashes begin to pour into it. And Minerva catches it and hugs it, standing on an ashen bed of flowers. Physician goes, thank you all for attending our service. Thank you all. And he kind of just bows, and the doors open up, and quiet conversation begins to spread. The funeral comes to an end.
Do we just go or what?
This guy looks at you, and he floats out. People start clearing out one by one. People like go to where the ashes are and toss like a gold coin. It's more like a tradition rather than a real contribution. And they all file out. The Tingle don't go far. They're actually staying on site for a few days. Everyone will eventually pour out. If there's anyone you want to talk to or anything that you want to engage with, now's probably your chance.
Yep, the Tangled actually.
Same here.
And I guess whenever Sora's done, Lilith would approach Sora.
Sora will approach Zerith with that mantle now tangible and her form glowing. She brushes away a tear as she will put on a bright smile. Hello, I'm Sora. I was hoping to catch you before you left.
I'm Sorrel. And when you look at him, your soul sight, you see the young man that used to be alongside Lewis. And then you see how he looks now again, as though you walked through his life for a brief second. Then you see Nina, and she's just as young as she was so many years ago. She seems to be the calmest of the group. And then kind of like with like a resting, like bee face, Claire looks not pleased to talk to you. But you start seeing her young form, and then if you scroll down further, how she currently looks. 20, 30 years after the fall of Tyrangem. And then of course there's Zareth. And they all just kind of stare at you. Well,
I want to thank you all for coming. It may not have been easy, but it's appreciated. And Lewis gave me something to give to you.
ooh. I mean, what?
She reaches into her pocket and takes out this small, worn-out talisman of crossing leather straps and presents it to them. He wanted me to tell all of you that no matter what happened, no matter what made your paths depart from each other, he could never bring himself to hate any of you, and always saw you all as his dear friends.
We've forgiven him for any issues we had. And he died the hero we all knew him to be. I'm Claire. Lewis was a good man. No sense in holding back any resentment from days of old. He was our friend. That's all that matters now. Sarah doesn't seem to hold the same opinion, at least not entirely. I just wish we had another chance to talk. You may be his current party, but we were his party for much longer. And it hurt not to have him in his final hours. That was his choice, not ours. But as you said, he is dead now. So I will not harbor that feeling, resentment. It has been replaced with peace. But we all grieve differently. But thank you for this trinket. I see why he likes you. He looks towards Nina, blows her cheeks. Yeah, you're kind of cool, I'll give you that.
I'm kind of interesting that way. But I do feel almost bad that I had the privilege of knowing the man that came out of the strife you had with him. I saw such a beautiful being, and I just wanted to thank all of you for the time you had with him, because I would have never met him.
And Gareth goes, it's a shame we will never see this man. But it is what it is. And so she's Amrit. Excuse me. And then Nina's like grabbing all over you. Ooh, your hair, your hair. Ooh, lovely.
Is that?
Stand still. And Sorrel's like, oh, get away from me.
Proceeds to stand still.
And Zareb looks at you and goes, are you here for me or my team? Both.
You'll do.
Well, you have my attention, warrior.
Thought you had something to get off of your chest first.
I told you as much earlier. Your girlfriend came to your defense.
She's not. Anyway. I don't know. I was gonna say what she just said mostly, but not as nicely.
The team has always loved Lewis. And I never really got to know him. I was his replacement after. So I had the least weight to hold. And what I said too early was wrong. I don't like to apologize. So I won't. I'll admit that.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's not like it wasn't something I was thinking, you know.
We all can blame ourselves in the end. But we do our best. That's all we can do. I've saw you fight. I've trained with you. I know you gave it your all. Maybe we'll get some tea or something sometime. Even though I will warn you that under this mask I have extremely sharp teeth.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine.
Just don't want you to get scared or anything. Most men run away, so I stopped dating.
Sorry.
But seeing as you wish to be my concubine, I felt the need to prepare you.
Maybe some other time.
You're sending mixed messages, Emmerich, but due to the affairs of the funeral, I shall allow you to live. He walks away.
I appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah. And you just said this one awkward thing as Zareth walks away. You see Nina's like her hands darting through Sora's hair and she's eating whatever she's grabbing out of it.
Oh, so they're weird too. Okay.
That tickles.
Cecil. And Claire casts a spell on you. All right, Nina, it's done. Ah, magic is so boring. Boring magic, boring.
Thank you all. You are all very wonderful. I'm going to head back inside, but I left some lanterns spares. If anyone chooses to use them, all you simply have to do is write what you're taking with you from Lewis.
They nod to you and you see them head towards the lantern. Except for Zara. He watches Amrit walks away and she stares at his ass.
God damn, Amrut, how do you have so much game?
Unspoken Riz, okay?
Read bastard. Okay, so Lilith, you can. Well, we just had a scene with Sword, so we'll come to you in just a moment. Judith, it looks like you're hanging out by this bunch. Are you talking to those folks, or?
Yeah. As I passed by the Lewis's flaming corpse, I tossed a little gold case, a little canister, and then I continue on. And nodding to the ones who are here, but then I go up to this turtle folk person and I say, Master Hyrule, it's thank you again for coming.
The least I can do is honor a fallen warrior. Though you do know I have ulterior motives to be here, I would have came nonetheless.
Oh yes, it's greatly appreciated. And also, I think the group is going to be appreciative of your gift.
I think time on the Turtle Islands is exactly what they need. To clear their heads, to center themselves, before another fight will come knocking at their doors. Because of that, we need people we can trust, people we can align ourselves with, people with similar minds and ideals, most importantly, similar strengths that can fight back against darkness. Allow me to introduce you to my friend Reinhold. Reinhold Kai. I have a feeling you and him will get together well. You may introduce yourself, Reinhold.
I go, hello. I step forward, like, oh, hello, Reinhold. My name is Judith Bloom, Between the Flames.
Reinhold, a figure that seems to be standing about solid 6'2"-ish, with ears that resemble almost like fins and slight gills around where his neck is, almost like hidden with it underneath his tattoos. Simply just gives a slight nod to you.
Will you be joining us?
No time, if that's what the masters ask of me.
Very well.
He's not too talkative, at least until you get to know him, but Reinhold has a good heart.
That's
He'll-
okay. I'm not really talkative either.
It's understandable. In any case, after all this settles, please seek us out your own time.
Of course. Thank you.
He nods to you and then he looks back to Kai. Didn't say much. You know, you guys usually sit in quiet together, just staring at each other.
Did you just say you don't talk a lot?
What?
You kind of do. Just
No, I'm probably one of the least talkative people you've ever seen around here.
what?
She kind of cracks a little bit of a smile.
He chuckled. What's the turtle guy want?
Master Harold, this is our friend Amrut, Kai Amrut. We're gonna talk to them later on with the group, and I should probably talk to you guys all at the same time about it. But new friends, I'll say.
Oof! 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 Noble just starts barking at you and laughing. So, I'm sorry. I don't know what got into him. And she like just lifts him up over her shoulders and holds him in the air. Quiet, Noble. Noble's a massive fucking dog. Quiet down.
How do you know Lewis?
I didn't really know Lewis well. I worked for his parents before they passed. And I was taking care of the family dog, the mansion, all their affairs, making sure it didn't get, cheesed by the government. Laugh light hands.
Hello, Judith Bloom, Between the Flames. This is Emerald.
She starts blushing. Hello, Emmerich. Oh, let me put this dog down.
Huh? Oh, fuck. Okay. Hi. He got very worried for a second with that verbiage.
Yeah, I don't usually lift stuff that heavy. There was a strong man in my life. I certainly needed these. These are all show. These muscles of mine. They don't even operate. Steroids. That's what happened.
No, I mean, strength is admirable, you know?
Yeah, well, you like strength?
Like strength, and
He
I mean,
loves
it's
it.
useful.
All right,
What?
love strength. Yeah. Oh, drop something. Starts doing push-ups in front of you.
Impressive. What's happening right now?
She's flexing for you.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, your name's Emmerich? I saw you on the list of guests. Is the R in your name Ariz?
I wouldn't know. I actually don't know what my name means. I was like a test tube baby, but I don't know.
I'm just
Maybe
gonna
I don't really know what that is.
I'm just gonna go for a little. I'm just gonna go for a walk. Nice meeting you, Law.
What?
You see Loft turn around to the bear. He's also blushing. He's mine. Back off. And they start wrestling. That's what you-
Reinhold, was it?
Sorry, the bear got yeeted.
Oh fuck. You new around here? Or?
I was out on a mission with Master Harry on quite some time.
Oh, okay. You a fighter of some sort, or?
Of sorts.
Cool. Are there any refreshments? I'll talk to you all later.
Gives a nod.
By the time Loft turns around, you're long gone, Amber. She's finally conquered Big Blue. Noble's looking at her and she's like, sorry, Noble, I don't know what came over me. Took one look at him and emotions. Real dark.
I turn invisible.
There you go. Oh my, you deleted your token? Oh my god.
I'm not here.
Oh my god. Alright, so where's my notes? Oh, there it is. Phoenix / Aria, are either of those doing something or want to see them?
Phoenix is catching up with Zig to see what kind of things they've been doing in the meantime. She's just avoiding things. And Aria has said her condolences to Minerva, but is over on the left-hand side doing what politicians have to do. Thanking them for coming and chatting about what a beautiful ceremony it was and seeing what their relationship is going to be like going forward. Yada yada yada.
Excellent. And you get a lot of petty questions. Master Pila wants to know if you can smoke in here, and he keeps saying, ooh, baby, and stuff like that. But other than that, just casual stuff like you said a politician would be doing.
Yep.
And for Phoenix?
Oh, she's catching up with Zig, seeing what the Vanguard's been up to. Seeing how I can't remember her name, but the artificer that was harmed and the falling that Phoenix had to take the place of.
Camille, yeah. Or Camille or Camilla, one of those two, but yeah.
Yeah, making sure she's still healing. Although, you know what, she's gonna look towards Nim because she was Nim's love. And be so, how's it going?
He's not usually the shy type. He's like the quips and real. Well, he's kind of like you, but a male version, I guess.
Yeah.
He looks at you and he shows you his finger. That's how it's going.
Congratulations. I'm glad to hear it. You gonna have any little ones?
I was thinking 3, but she told me why. In her words, ruin her body when she can make constructs instead. I do not want little machine children.
She just laughs and let me know when you name them. And so she's just catching up with that crew.
The rest of them talk to Zig with Socket, starts asking about the fight and if he smashed the enemy. She ran to the wrong site. She was wrestling a zebra that had a monkey's ass. A lot of just random talks like that in the group. Everyone can kind of congratulates you. And it's made clear that even though you have a party, you really feel like a member of the Vanguard. 100%.
Yeah, she kind of misses him.
Lilith and Sora. Lilith, so you went to engage Sora. How you open up that conversation?
So she sees Sora coming back in, and she was kind of waiting by the side, out of the way. And as she approaches, um, that was very beautiful, Sora.
I felt like I had to improvise a couple of times. The way you all say goodbye to the dead, it's vastly different when you live on a living island. Can't quite bury the people, for dragon turtles don't really like that. And you can't send them out to sea, because the magic could turn it to something disrespectful. We would very actually similar to you, we would burn the bodies. But everyone would take a piece of the ashes and put them into the lanterns. We would send them off so that they would return to the cycle and then begin their new journey.
It's very, very thoughtful, very beautiful. But I think you said exactly what you needed to say up there. It can be very difficult to put everything you're feeling into words, but you were very inspiring up there.
I have to thank a lot of my friends for that. And she looks to the mantle that hovers around her. I've learned so much from them. Developed a new life based around the things they've taught me. If I can spread this light to others, then I may have a way of thwarting the Mouthers that constantly seek to turn us against each other. Help us all remember we all share in this strife together. So let us stand together.
I would like that. So, whenever you're going to the Turtle Islands, I'll be there.
I am very overjoyed to hear it. I will share my home with you and all of my family.
I think it'll be the farthest I've ever been from, well, everything I've known.
I will impart the most important piece of advice for our travels there.
Oh?
You may want to exercise restraint with your druidic magic, lest you be turned into a very pretty floral sheep.
I don't understand.
You will come to understand.
Like, that's part of who I am. I can't even... not even use my thorn whip?
Good, you could. It just your thorn whip may do things you may not expect.
It sounds like a terrible place.
You can change your mind if you decide so. But what's adventure without a little bit of peril?
You know, I can think of better vacation places.
Trust me, much like the life Lewis led, a little bit of strife makes everything come into perspective. You will love it there, once we're past the sea.
Okay. I'll trust you.
And Sora will grab her hand and give it a squeeze. You're not quite on hugging terms yet, even though it's clear in Sora's features she would like to hug you, but she has come to understand through Judith some more social boundaries to learn, and she will go back to sitting in the pew she was in.
Okay. So, at this point, most of the people have cleared out. Family is caught up with family, friends with friends, new faces, spectators, and beyond, all assembled. Phoenix is seen to Minerva, not Phoenix, physician, seen to Minerva, and he takes the ashes, smiles, and walks off. Some people try to go with her, but she takes this journey alone. No, just me and him. And she leaves, followed by about 3 dozen annoying goats. But somewhere else, other things are stirring, are brewing, even now amidst everything else.
My dear, did you call me?
Talking to you, Judith.
Oh, no.
Did somebody call you?
Yeah. Someone,
Be-
I imagine the same thing happened to you?
Be on alert. I do not like this.
Have no fear, for I am here. Turning at the altar, visibility failing.
Oh, Mr. Mutton Chops, how did I not realize it was your voice in my head?
Morgan, middle name Freeman. Last name Williams.
Thank you for showing restraint and not showing up at Lewis's funeral.
J.P. Morgan Freeman Williams?
William Shakespeare, but yes. I didn't want to cause a scene or disrupt stuff. A lot of people don't like me around here, and that's fine. But let's just say I'm not here to be your enemy. At least that's not my hope. I would like to talk to you about the City of Tears with Lewis, bless his heart, not around.
I'm listening.
Mm-hmm. We've been fighting this front for a while. Documentation of ownership has been issued to me by the city vicaress official today. But seeing that my relationship with Judith Bloom, which is completely platonic, has taken off so dreamily, I figured that it's my time to do my part. He walks up to you guys. You don't have to like me, and I don't suspect you will even after I leave. But I would like your signature right here, Judith, followed by your signature right here, Aria, followed by my signature at the bottom.
I'm looking over her things to see what she has to inspect this. She totally suspects a trick.
Yeah. She will. Well, first, Judith will say, "And what is this exactly?"
See him He looks at you all and his eyes glow. He inspects certain outcomes, certain things that have happened. Then they shut off. See, some futures you tear this piece of paper up and others you keep it. But I suggest you take your time to fully review it. I'm handing you the rights to the City of Tears and ending this debate forever. In honor of Lewis. First, it was just pride for me, wanting something because I can have it. But I got to know you, Judith, and Mrs. Mutton Chops, and I decided that this is just the right thing to do. It's not going to hurt me financially, and my pride will recover. This is my way of doing something right. Please. What is that saying about the gift horse? Don't shit in its mouth.
I'm not quite sure what playground you grew up on, but can I see that, please?
Absolutely. There are 37 pages. Well, it's double-sided, so single-spaced. Yes.
As much as we appreciate your kindness here of Morgan, as you would expect, we will have to review this and get this cleared and make sure everything here is in all up to date in clearance with the city of Icarus as well, just to, cross the T's and dot the I's before we sign everything.
Of course,
Not that we don't trust, but you understand.
Of course. Well, this is a stay of ownership. Because once ownership is changed, the people here will be evicted. So you can take your time, but you only have till tomorrow. So work hard tonight, folks, if that's what you want. But I truly am trying to do something good. I wouldn't disgrace you on the death of your own friend. Lewis was a good-looking Chad and a nice young man. Old man? Both.
Yes.
All right. Well, I know you got things to do, and I've got people to see, places to go as well. And does this amulet belong to anyone? I'll give you 500 gold for it.
What amulet is it that he has?
This is like a holy symbol sitting on this altar.
What holy symbol is it for?
Fire Inferno.
You know what? You go ahead and take that.
Nice. 500 was good. That works.
No, there's no need for the 500.
He puts it on. He brings out my eyes. It doesn't smell like magic. All right, people. I know you see me as your enemy, but here we are. Shrimp cocktails at my place whenever you want, folks. Morgan out.
Again.
Whoa. You just fucking appeared, ain't you? Take it easy, big guy. I'm not here for problems.
Did I hear you right?
Depends.
You want them to sign a fucking paper in 24 hours? But there's no fuckery going on.
I can assure you. He's like sweating a little bit. I came out unarmed, mind you. He opens his coat, giving you the rights of the city, which you can review, putting this all to an end between us. This petty squabble.
You can assure it.
95.7% certain. Fine, 99. No one can ever be 100% sure, but the paper's good.
The paper's good. But are you?
I'm an asshole, but this is good. When I leave here, I'll be an asshole. But I won't be an asshole to you anymore.
I'm gonna look him square in the eyes. I'm gonna roll an insight check.
Sure. You have to give me an intimidation for advantage.
Sure. Let's see here.
Okay. He sweats a little bit, and then you hear, "Oh, was that you, Aria?"
As if.
I might have let my flabbergasted belly do some talking. I had burritos earlier. I mean, you're not sure. I mean, he's like been a king of deception, but maybe he's legit. Why have you guys signed the paper unless just to sign over the city, maybe? But you'll have 24 hours to review it before the city will automatically become his. He looks at you and says, the last thing I want to do is insult you when your friend died. That's the type of stuff that gets people killed. And I like living.
Yes, it does.
Ooh.
Does he have like any jewelry on besides the amulet he just put on?
I mean, he's got 3 rings. He's got 2 gold watches. He's got nipple piercings. He's got a few things.
What's the most unique looking like ring on his fingers?
His belt buckle. Well, you said his finger. I thought you meant his in general. He's not wearing his belt buckle as a ring. You know, that sounds really gangster.
I guess it is a ring for the waist. No.
There we go. Yeah, sorry. That's the most unique thing. But yes, among his rings, there seems to be like a college signet that he's really proud of. Really expensive university in Icarus that very few get to go to.
Can I see that?
My Beta Mega Chad ring? Are you sure?
Are you sure you're not going to give it to me?
Looks at Judith, and as he takes it off, he's like stuck on his finger, so he takes him a little bit of time. Is this what happened,
burritos,
Judith?
huh?
I give you the city and you rob me? Is this what we're doing here?
I'll give it back. Just put it in my hand.
He finally gets it off. His finger's like swollen after he forcibly pulls it off.
He'll take the ring. And he'll use Grimm's psychometry. Hold on. What is this?
Whoa,
It's
nice
new.
level. Okay.
No. If there's any fuckery going on with this item, I'd like to discern if I can literally like see it and like see a past event if possible.
Absolutely. Let's get that history check and you can gleam into his recent affairs.
Oh,
Now here's the
shit.
problem. It's a history check.
Well,
Good luck, buddy.
Yeah. Let's give it a go.
I'm wishing any of my other characters was here to give you something to help with this, but
Take an
No
inspiration average.
Oh, thank you.
Or we'll see how you roll first.
yeah,
Okay,
it
we
could
can-
be a
we can
reroll,
roll,
but
yeah.
you have
Got
advantage,
rerolls.
so if you do need a reroll, we'll be at even. Oh, remember, you have advantage already.
Mm-hmm. Reroll it is.
Okay, so we have a 12 currently. Do you want to do the inspo for a advantage that might be better or no? Sora.
Yeah, give it to him.
So one more roll at advantage, we'll take the higher of the 2 sets.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Let's see here.
There we go.
Oh,
Yes, much better.
Okay, much better.
So Grim Psychometry. This is a really cool name and a really cool, mostly RP ability. So after you touch in the ring, you see more than you should have ever seen. It's dangerous what you see. You see that Morgan sitting in a room with Domingo, the guy you met, and you didn't even think these guys knew each other. And there's other people in that room too. A lot of other people. And by a lot, maybe about 15 or 20, sitting on a massive round table. And the council are arguing with Morgan about handing over the city to you guys. Some of them are in agreement with it, some of them are against it. Morgan goes, the council controls most of this side of the world. The city of tears is non-consequential. I'm finally trying to do something good. This is what I get. I bet you they're gonna appreciate this. They're gonna hold me up in the sky. They're gonna stuff me with pancakes. The guy Hammer's probably gonna fuck me. Listen, I just want to give them the city. Do you want to control the city because it's a good vantage point over Atlantis? Because you're concerned about that original sin bitch, whatever. Give them the city. Well, let's be done with this. Besides, I kind of like Judith. She's never gonna sleep with me. Wait, maybe she'll sleep with me. No, she's never gonna sleep with me. But I just don't feel like managing the City of Tears anymore. And they're the closest thing I have to friends. And then you zoom back into the room. He's sitting there, shaking his head, looking sad. Like, you guys are real bullies, you know that? I don't know what you're gonna do with that Beta Omega Chad ring. But I'm trying to do something right for the first time in my life, and now I know that maybe I should just keep being me.
Here, I'll hand him the ring back.
Oh, you're not gonna knock out a few teeth, steal the rest of my belt buckle? It's pure platinum?
Well, no. It appears your fraternity is in high places, and I'll like look him in the eye, like knowingly. Now, when he did this, he would see Amaret's eyes like go black for a moment too.
Oh, okay. He's like, he's sweating a little bit. He's like, I don't know what the hell you got going on, but I really am, for the first time in my life, trying to do something right.
I know. I worry what the fraternity is up to, though.
The Beta Omega Chads? Nothing.
Sure.
Nothing. I would like to leave now. Still, preferably, even though now you know it's probably not stealing, your finest bottle of wine. Drink away the city I could have had. Naked, next to a waterfall off the side of this building.
Take the wine, Morgan, but don't go naked and scare any kids or goats running around here, all right?
Deal. What if I'm invisible when I go naked? That was like the whole plan.
That feels even worse, honestly.
Yeah. All right. You mind if I get by, big guy?
Sure. We'll take the city.
Right now it
We'll
sounds like
also-
a hostile takeover, but all right.
Might need your help one day. So you'll take our silence on this for now. Right?
All right. Let me get straight. I give you a multi-million gold coin city, and somehow I just gotta give you more.
It's kind of his way of bonding, Morgan.
Yeah, it took more for a guy to like bondage, but all right. I'll catch you all later.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wasn't mean that fast gas, he whispers. I gotta shake her that Rhea girl, you don't know what she's eating. But it was definitely him. It trails out when he walks.
Amrit, excuse me, but did you just tell him we were going to take the city?
Sure. Sign the papers or whatever.
I would like to identify it first, see if there's any magical enchantment on it.
Might as well at least be frugal with how we do this. But yeah, of course.
The
It
deal
will take-
itself is legitimate. I'll say that much.
Do I want to know how you are so certain of the fact? I've been dealing with this character for months.
Do you know his circles? His true circles.
Does she?
That's probably one of the very few things the Elementar withheld from me. Because he's just not allowed to speak on it.
I mean, I know the types, but given your tone of voice and your choice of words, I'm guessing not.
Let's just say that him giving the city up was the lesser of two evils, of two options. He's part of something. I don't know if it's bad. I don't know if it's good. But it's enough to be worried. But again, the deal's legitimate. Unless that paper says otherwise. I don't want to rush things.
As far as I can tell, the only magic on it is typical. She looks towards Judith, but I'd like for you to read the words written on it.
Yeah, of course. And she goes to reach out her left hand to grab the paper, and because there's 30 some stacks, it kind of like the weight kind of hurts her arm a little bit. She's like, and she puts her hand up to her left shoulder, then takes it with her right. Yeah.
Are you okay, my dear? What have you been up to?
Oh, just fine. Just just got a little sprain. Okay. Yeah. And she will sit down in the pew and just start. So just kind of just go through it and let me know if I need to do anything, but she'll just spend her time here to reading through it very carefully.
Yeah, mostly an investigation. I think with your trust in Amaret and his confidence, it will both be advantage because you know you're gonna find stuff easier now that you feel like it's true. You're not gonna like double, second guess yourself
Yeah.
and stuff. There's got to be something in here wrong. You know what I mean?
All right. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, I mean you're. Of course, it'll take you a few hours because 37 double-sided pages of legal text, but you will be able to skim it. You'll be able to cover it correctly and be able to report back to Aria or Amit or whatever about its legitimacy.
And it is legit, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll make sure to tell them when I'm fully.
Curious in the details, who is he actually giving it to? Is it to Tent Thrill? Is it to the party in general?
So, because of the organization that he's in, they're aware of Tenethil. And his engagements with Judith as well. Because he's been probing you guys' minds. A little messed up, it is what it is. Yeah, you see that Tenethil's name is first, but the order of leadership extends to the party. But the ordering does matter. So he has Tenethil as the absolute owner. Tenethil dies or passes it on. Judith is the very next name, followed by you guys and followed by Aria, and then the rest of the party in whatever order. But it's true, you guys. This place that you've been building upon for months, secured with golems, soldiers' armors, people, is finally yours. He put his name at the bottom before he even talked to you guys. Just missing two names, Judith and Arias, and you see that you're signing as guardians of Thenethil, since he's too young to sign the legal document.
Judith will, in Goblin, say, "And begin." And her orders quill will come out of her jacket and hover above the page. Shall we do this?
I suppose so. It's just disappointing, unfortunate that Lewis didn't get to see this day.
Judith will, at one of these little bowls over here, she's going to stick her hand out and firebolt it. So we are in the church of Far Inferna, and the flames ignite. Maybe just a way he can glance through the flames and see this himself.
She smiles at you.
And Judith will write her hand using the quill as it scratches Judith Bloom.
As Aria takes a quill to sign it. Now my question is, which one of us get to tell Tanithil the good news?
Not it.
Yeah, I might as well say we should both do it. We can go. The teamwork has worked out so far.
Yes, I think we'll make sure it passes through completely the city courts. And then we'll make his day.
I'm sure you guys share the news to Tenethil. He's ecstatic, and he hugs both of you. I have the best mothers in the world. And you got a challenge in front of you. You've got more adventures to be had. Abria's gonna assume full control here. The moment you leave again, Judith. Tenethil is going to be a young prince, soon king. The city is finally yours. It's safe, it's secure. The soldiers are here. Your family and friends, and all of this is just the print, stamped, signed, and placed in our hands. The actions of Louis Newell, our hero. I'd like to ask each player if they have one final thing they'd like to do tonight before we close out and I get you all to bed. We'll go in how our names are presented in game, and of course, you could tag someone else into your chat, and I'll still go to them. You're not taking that away from them, so don't be afraid to jump in with somebody else. Lilith, final scene of the night, and if you're not engaging someone else, just tell us how you close out your character tonight.
So she just kind of goes out after a lot of the guests have retreated. Left the venue, and she just begins thinking about what awaits her over the sea and how she will be trying to overcome what differences she has with other party members that are among the ranks. And she's just kind of fraught with it back and forth on whether or not she really should have came along.
All right. Speaking of the devil, as you contemplate that, well, a few things happen. We're gonna go to Phoenix soon, but someone walks up to you. You can see looks like a cat. You're familiar with this cat. Hey, Lilith, you remember me? One of the awakened animals, Mother Nature?
Yes, I remember.
Come on. He like uses his tongue to lift up the eye patch a little bit. Come on, yeah, you see? That's me. Oof. Oof. Yeah, remember?
I do.
Well, I'm kind of the big fish around here, or big cat, I guess. King of the hill kind of shit. City of Tears is actually owned by me. But listen, you need your own room, and there's still enough empty houses. I can get you a nice one if you come with me. Pick out your own home. Oh, you know what? There's a big tree we can get hauled out for you.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, follow me.
And she follows along, Uth.
And he warned you about this goat that talks that was sent here by the original sins to usurp the entire place. And he gives you this wild tale about how that the goat works for J.P. Morgan. That Morgan is a living sperm cell. Quite elaborate. But anyways.
Quite the tales you weave.
Seriously, he didn't need an egg. He just started, grew some legs and walked around. Won't get into this whole reproduction thing, but trust me, I know a guy.
Well, I look forward to your stories.
Oh, there's the tree. Oh, fucking burnt down when that dragon attacked. You're on your own. He leaves.
She looks a bit dumbfounded. I guess I'll go talk to Arya. See what other accommodations she may have.
Cool. They have a relationship with one of Chris' characters. So we'll go to Phoenix, and then we could have that scene with Maria if Maria's not doing something else. So Phoenix, what are you up to?
Phoenix would want to tag along with Sora as Sora's headed to her home because last time they were here, Phoenix hung out in Sora's house with her. So, um, just walking along the way. That was really beautiful today, Sora. I'm kind of jealous of the way you can craft words together so well.
They weren't always given such eloquence. It's something Judith always knew how to speak with people, and I always at first didn't didn't understand or felt it was overcomplicated, but you see that mantle again kind of materialize as she thinks about it, adorning her shoulders as she looks at it. Ever since Lewis passed, a lot of things have been changing about me. Strange abilities that I'm realizing are all gifts you've all given me. And this is the gift Judith gave me, a lesson in disarming honesty, to balance stillness in both physical and mental battles, to speak no evil.
We've come a long way from meeting at the festival, I think it was. I'm
You haven't
excited.
changed that much, to be honest, Phoenix. You flew that day, and you fly it to this day.
She laughs. This time I have a mediocre amount of greater control than that first time.
But you were so happy regardless, weren't you?
I was. It was pretty great. I'm looking forward to seeing your home. You happy to be going home?
Yes, and also afraid in a strange sense.
What of?
If home will recognize me.
Hmm. Yeah. My cousins and my aunt were here today. It's kind of weird. It doesn't feel the same. Not in Icarus. Not in the little townhouse. Everything changes.
Even Vidkun was here.
I know. I think I think his mom made him.
I like to think that he's trying.
That's all we can ask of anybody, right? Is that they try.
Tell you what, I'm going to see if I can scout out some sweets. And tonight, there is a tradition I have learned that some mainlanders practice when they have a whole bunch of emotion welled up inside them, where
Ice
they
cream?
go. Indeed.
You are speaking my language. Let's go.
She like cracks her knuckles a bit. All right, time to show this town what Sora of the Aku is made of. And go ahead.
I'll try my best to keep up with you. I can only fly like 100 feet at a
Oh,
time.
you can just go to the house, Phoenix. I can just get everything and come back. I know where I live.
All right, I'll get the bowls and the spoons ready.
Sounds like a plan. And like a bullet, that girl's going over 130 feet around. So she is just gone.
And Phoenix goes, and if that goat's in there, threatens the goat into staying quiet in a room in a closet somewhere and gets stuff ready.
Excellent. And while we're on the note of Phoenix, Lilith would find Rhea looking for places all around here.
Well, Mud,
I
go
imagine
ahead.
she's like in an office or something, or wherever she may be.
Well, we'll say that she'd just come out from the church or the chapel that they were up in.
Gotcha.
Actually, Rhea would probably be walking around one of the balconies looking out into the night sky, um, and kind of looking over the land with the lights from the various houses still on. She's just looking over it and deep in thought.
Um, Sorry to interrupt, but
Oh no, don't, my dear. What can I do for you?
well, Uth was telling me he found a tree for my accommodations, but apparently it had burnt down during a previous attack.
Oh my goodness, that feline, I tell you what, he gets in the most irritable moods or the most mischief if his catnip supply is not quite right. We can accommodate you however you would be most comfortable. Don't know if you would like a quiet place out in the tree line or perhaps one of the rooms, whichever way you would like, my dear.
The tree line sounds wonderful.
Here, I'll walk with you. And she is familiar with Mother Nature, not nearly as close to her as you are, but she will inquire. It seems this party has had all kinds of people accompanying it. I was surprised to see someone of your closeness to Mother Nature with them. I hope you're doing well.
Um, I'm doing all right.
They are a rough bunch, I tell you what. Especially that Amrit. But
His crassness I find a little refreshing from time to time.
I do say, yes, between the two of us, I kind of miss it. I thought life in this palace would be grand, but God, it's tiring. I
Can't
do hope
say.
no matter what, will enjoy what you do.
And I've been struggling a bit, if I am to be honest.
In what way?
I guess I want to learn more about the details surrounding the Icarus incident.
Oh, my dear, were you there when it happened?
I wasn't, but ones that I loved were.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Today must have been extra tough on you.
I just want to know what happened. If you have any idea.
I wasn't with them when it happened, and in fact, the university sent me to the team after the fact. I was there to see where the screw was loose. Funny enough. God, I just forgot Lewis. Sorry.
Whoa.
Funny. I know it's late. Um, Funny enough, Lewis almost took the blame for that one. But really, what I discovered is they're all a bunch of misfits. They all are perfectly imperfect. I'll tell you what. But I'm sure Mother Nature could answer any questions you had.
I know Phoenix had the biggest part to play. And I've been wanting to ask her directly, but I just haven't had the courage. I just can't help but feel this intense hatred. And I don't know what to do with it.
That is a tough one. People deal with it in different ways. Some people deal with it up front, yell, scream, get it all out. Other people will stuff it down and live with it for years, killing themselves from the inside. You take the time you need, my dear, but don't let it simmer too long. Sometimes the uncomfortable conversations have to be had.
Thank you for
But you
the
are,
advice.
it is what it is, but you are one of Mother Nature's stronger um, units? I can't think of what the word is right now.
I'm with the Feathered Furies. I guard her closely and deal with any imminent threats to her domain.
You are strong indeed. Knowing Mother Nature, she's always looking out for those that look out for her. Perhaps she's sent you on this because she saw what great growth it would do. I know at the time, Mother Nature, there was no one more livid at Phoenix than her. Somehow she's come around to, I don't know if forgiving her is the right word, but being able to set it aside and move on. Perhaps she wants the same for you, but you do it in your own way.
Perhaps.
But
Well,
you are welcome to join us in the morning for breakfast if you like.
I very well may.
See you then. Sleep well, my dear.
Thank you, Ari. And
And
she'll go wherever you let her, wherever her room may be.
Okay.
one of the more secluded tree areas.
And as you get settled in your home, very briefly, Aria, Thil's like looking out of the window as you're walking back towards the main foundation. And he calls out to you. I've had another bad dream. Are you coming to bed soon?
I'll be right there, honey. Get tucked in. I'm coming.
Right. He turns around and you can kind of see his dragon's actually sleeping on top of the entire foundation, just kind of watching you over you two. Nice, another guardian, and thank you very much.
She will meet him. I'm guessing she's been doing this like every 7 days. Her purify rune, which gets rid of the bad dreams. But yeah.
You realize they're not even bad. I mean, I guess the dreams should happen when he sleeps, but they're real. I guess real things can be dreams. Yeah, sure. Remember he got all the memories from the crown.
His mom.
Yeah, so he's getting flooded with these memories, and it's too much for his young mind to handle.
Yeah, she will sit up with him and purify him.
Excellent. Emerald. Yeah. Give us your final scene. You can engage others. If not, tell us how you're closing out your character tonight.
Sure. Well, First thing, he's in his room. He's setting his stuff back up. In case he'll probably make some potions. We'll do that next session. I don't give a fuck. After he sets up, he'll try to recall because he was like in the moment before. But when he was looking through the ring, do like the black and white, almost like the Oppenheimer like trial scene or whatever. Just like the black and white, just like looking at all these members. Did he see Mother Nature there at all?
During this meeting, you did see Mother Nature there. He pushed the vote in his favor. It's probably the reason why the table agreed to Morgan's terms.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I wanted to fucking know. All right. That is all. Well, for that anyway. Yeah, she is. Now you know what? That's it. I'm done.
Okay, you caught me mid sausage, but allow it. Eating what are these? Chorizo and lime. Reinhold, what scene are you taking us on tonight? What adventure are we getting from you?
All right. Reinhold, once the processions start to end and everyone's more clearing out, walks over to where Lewis's casket was and kind of just places a hand down on it, just kind of staring at it, not really saying too much at first. So, you were the protector. As he says that, what seems to be like a silverish liquid like crawls off his hand and kind of just like hovers above like the back of his hand and starts to take the shape of what seems to be a turtle just like swimming above the surface of his hand. I could only hope for a second chance at that same role. You did good. And gives a slight nod as he walks off. Eventually, kind of just like wandering through the city, he comes upon a waterfall that his master had asked him to meet at, where he would eventually just spot Master Hyrian just near the waterfall.
Well, Kai, what did you think of them?
They seem to care about him quite a bit. It's hard to quite say my opinion on them, considering I didn't really talk with them too much. But they seem like good people.
When my father's seal breaks, I no longer am Hyrian. Will return to Hyperion, my Mauler form. Do you think they'll be able to stop me where you failed?
He kind of just like places his hands on his sides and just like looks down before meeting Hyrian directly in the eyes. Only time will tell.
Let's hope. Let's hope. What is that? Points towards the waterfall.
Reinhold just like squints his eyes to like really focus.
When you look at the waterfall, there's a guy turning his clothes off. I do whatever I want. I'm J.P. Morgan, Freeman, William Shakespeare. And I'm naked by the waterfall.
Reinhold just lifts up an eyebrow. Do I want to know?
Irene goes, no. Remember, when we get to the islands, we'll focus on the mastering their runes. I don't know when I'll change back. These people deserve a break, chance to rest. You keep this between us, and you'll have your revenge. You know, in my current
Right.
form, I am an innocent man. What I will become must be stopped.
And I'll be fully prepared for the day that it happens.
Thanks, Kai. Now let's get out of here before that guy gets any other ideas.
Agreed. Is that a common thing on the mainland, or?
It's probably just some commoner using this opportunity to have a good time.
I see.
Oh, he's looking. He's coming this way. Let's get out of here.
Agreed.
And Judith.
Judith, she has gone for a walk. And kind of, the memories of Lewis and seeing everyone kind of rushing back, and it's a very mixed bag of emotions. A lot of things still need to be said. Lots of hugs still to give, though. But she finds herself in front of a large fountain, kind of in the center of the town, of the city. And this is where they fought Tyrandrum. Where Lewis was able to conquer one of the foes that was ailing him. And she'll kind of reach into her bag, and she'll pull out a photo of that she took on the day. One where she sees Lewis. I mean, it's not the best photo of him, to be honest. It's kind of in a lot of pain, but even through the pain, she can see in his eyes just the true grit and just inner strength that he had. She starts to well up a little bit, and she just lets all of her emotions out and just allows herself to cry. And it's significant. It's not the best sounding, but she hopes that the fountain will help in masking any sound that might kind of leave the area. She'll fold the photo up in a nice little paper boat and just set it in the fountain and let it do its thing. Sorry, I wasn't there, Lewis. I'm really sorry. But that's it.
She's back. Sora. Last person. Close out your character and the session.
Being sent on her errand from Phoenix, Sora, to anyone within the city, would just occasionally see a flash of gold as she is running by, running and acquiring anything relating to ice cream she can potentially put into a bucket that she will sling onto the artistic armament, which she'll hold against her shoulder. And just kind of seeing in the background walking around or traversing the buildings, Naku, and almost in like their natural habitat of just jumping around and looking like the embodiment of freedom. And she would jump onto the rooftop of one of the buildings and scale up where she's like looking over everything. And she sees some of her friends. She sees some of the people who are now starting to live here. And there's this big smile on her face. Now look at all of this that you made possible, Lewis. She'd look around and then her mouth would purse and her eyes would squint as she does another like look around. Where do I live again?
Over here. In the session.
What did
ends.
she say?
She lost, but the goat found her. All right, everybody. Late. Hope you enjoyed tonight's session. Hope the viewers enjoyed watching it. Everybody say goodnight to the stream.
Good night.
Good night.
Stream.
Good night.
everybody.
Stream.
Wait, Falcon. And I'm not about to do what JP Morgan do. I'm gonna fly out.
We
I'll do
stripping.
And with that, cue credit.
Out of fear, we kept running, tried to hide away. Can you hear? War is coming, beckoning our fate. This is the day that we stand up. This is the day we fight. We'll take our place, we won't give in. Our victory's in sight. Only a sword in our hand, but we enter the lion's den. We're not waiting for a war.